Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome. My name is Roberta, I'm an aspiring illustrator, and today is day 16 of my self-improvement challenge. What I'll be doing today is finishing an old whip I've had sitting around since January. I'm using gouache and colored pencils. I really want to improve my gouache technique, so my next illustration will all be focused on this medium. It's my first time adding colored pencils, but the facial details were too small for me to feel comfortable using just paint. That's why I decided to use pencils. I always like to have something in the background while I draw. It could be a podcast, an art vlog, or anything I don't have to actually watch. But this time I really wanted to watch How to Train Your Dragon, because I've never seen it and I want to be ready for the live action movie. As expected, I didn't really get to see the movie much, but I still love it. I ended up watching all three back to back, and I'll definitely rewatch them in the future so I can give them the proper attention. I know this video would have been more effective if I had shown you the full process, not just the second part, but I didn't want to start a new illustration when this one had been sitting there for months, watching me and silently judging me. I hope you can still find it useful or enjoyable. Let me know if you prefer having more frequent cuts in the video with slower speed, or if you rather see a faster clip with a more complete process. In every illustration I do, I try to be intentional about including an element I want to learn or practice, aside from the main goal of improving my gouache technique. Since I already created a similar forest scene in the past, I decided to try using a very specific color palette this time. I called it the Russian folk color palette. You'll often find it in Russian fairy tale illustrations, a lot of desaturated yellows, green, greenish blue, and a vivid orangey red that really pops. I think it complements this piece quite well. Now, the story behind this illustration is kind of strange and funny at the same time. Back in December, I was in a rough emotional place. I've never been in love or had a serious crush in my life, and I'm 27. So it's hard for me to even understand what being in love really feels like. Not the idea of it. I've seen it in movies, I've watched people fall in love around me, but personally I've never been able to recognize it in myself, because it never happened. Am I supposed to feel butterfly, or is it more like being really close friends with someone and just being okay with physical affection? I honestly don't know. Anyway, in December I realized I was heartbroken before I even realized I had a real crush on someone, and I spiraled badly. I needed space to breathe and disconnect, so I went on a 2-day solo trip to Appiano and Bolzano. The first day I wandered through the woods in Appiano, and the second day I strolled through the Christmas markets in Bolzano. I love Christmas and I love forests, so even though it was just a weekend, it was a really lovely trip and a great chance to reconnect with myself. At the end of the second day, just half an hour before my train home, I decided to grab a cup of mulled wine at the market. The problem was, it was a cup of wine, a big one. I usually never finish a full glass, I always share with my friends, but I didn't think about that until it was already in front of me. I panicked, realized I didn't have time to sip slowly, so I ordered some fried potato chips to help soak up the alcohol and then chugged the wine like a lunatic. I ran to catch my train, barely made it, and instantly regretted everything. I felt terrible and I hate throwing up, so I did the only thing I could think of to distract myself. I started drawing, and apparently the first thing my brain wanted to sketch was a chubby frog with a cute butt. That frog became the heart of this illustration. The rest of the drawing grew from there. While I was in the forest, I had collected pine cones for my mom, so I just replaced them with frogs. The girl in the drawing? That's me. Same big black coat, same bandana, same dress, just a different color to match the palette. I ended up spending the whole train ride drawing and totally forgot about my headache. Back to the painting process, I always keep my iPad in front of me with reference images and color swatches, and my original sketch, because once I start painting, the line art gets covered. But at the same time, if I want to change or add something, I just go with the flow. In the beginning, it was tricky to balance all the colors. The red, for example, was way too bright and clashed with the mood. Finding the right browns also was a challenge. It was always too dark, too saturated, or too red. But that's part of the fun and the challenge. I really recommend trying different color palettes, especially if you tend to draw similar subjects over and over again. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you like it, and let me know in the comment section if you ever drawn tipsy frogs as emotional support. See you tomorrow. Bye!